Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about different career paths you can offer as a psychology major in the UK, be it as a domestic student or an international student. But first, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as I make a lot of informative videos for university students and study abroad aspirants. I'm going to really appreciate your support. Generally speaking, you can go for a number of career options if you are a psychology graduate, as organizations these days are very keen on employing people who have a background in psychology. So that is definitely an advantage for you. Different career options can be clinical psychologist, counseling psychologist, researcher, whether in universities or in corporate companies, forensic psychologist, sports psychologist, educational psychologist, and even organizational psychologist. You can also work in the social work sector if you have a background in psychology. But in this video, I'm going to focus majorly upon how to become a clinical psychologist or a researcher in the UK. So the question comes, what kind of qualifications you need in order to become a clinical psychologist or a researcher in the UK, and what sort of entry-level jobs you should look for in order to gather relevant work experience. Talking about qualifications, it's very important to remember that if you want to become a clinical psychologist or a researcher, then a bachelor's degree in psychology is not enough. Having a bachelor's degree in psychology is quite an achievement and you should be proud of it, but if you want to progress in your career, then you must pursue high degrees such as master's or PhD or doctorate in clinical psychology. For example, if you want to become a clinical psychologist in the UK, then you must do a doctorate in clinical psychology. Even a master's degree is not enough, because without a doctorate in clinical psychology, you cannot practice as a clinical psychologist in the NHS or have your own private practice. In very simple words, doctorate in clinical psychology is the minimum degree that you need in order to become a licensed clinical psychologist in the UK. You can check this website for all doctorate in clinical psychology courses that are funded by the NHS. I will put this link down in the show notes. You will get every little information about the programs, eligibility criteria, and which universities offer doctorate in clinical psychology degrees in the UK. If you're someone who's more interested in research rather than clinical practice, then PhD is the right degree for you. There are some cases in which a master's degree in psychology would help you land research jobs, but eventually you must go for PhD if you want to progress in your career, and also if you want to do more specialized research in the field of psychology. Okay, before I jump into what kind of entry-level jobs you should look for in order to get the relevant work experience, there are two things that I want to talk about, and they're important and you should be aware of these two things, especially if you are an international student. One thing is that international students can go for doctorate in clinical psychology funded positions in different universities in the UK, such as positions that are funded by the NHS. However, before you apply to such funded positions, you should, and this is very important, look whether your student visa is going to allow you to work throughout your degree. Because as a part of your doctorate in clinical psychology degree, you need a visa that allows you to have full working capabilities. So you should definitely confirm that. There are some universities that have the option to self-fund your whole degree, that is your doctorate in clinical psychology, but in that case you're going to have to pay for everything, like your tuition fee, your living expenses, and you won't be getting any stipend. Second, before you start your DCLIN degree in the UK, it is very important that your degree, undergrad degree in psychology from your home country, is accredited by the British Psychological Society. So as an international student, your degree might not be accredited by the BPS, so in that case you can go for a conversion course. I made a dedicated video on conversion courses in the UK, which are usually of 1 year, where I've explained everything about the conversion courses. It should be around here somewhere, so I say that you should definitely go and check it out. So now that you know about the qualifications, let's focus our attention to what kind of jobs, especially entry-level jobs, you should look for in order to gather relevant work experience. If you're keen on becoming a clinical psychologist, then there are jobs that are a bit easy to crack and do not ask for prior experience. These are support worker jobs, healthcare worker jobs, and health and well-being coach. I made an entire video on support worker jobs, like what's a support worker, what is it that you do as a support worker. It's an interview that I did with a friend who had worked as a support worker for over a year in the UK. So you should definitely check it out. You're gonna get a lot of information from that video. You can do these jobs not just in the NHS but mental health charities as well. You simply need to type support worker or healthcare worker jobs on Google and you're gonna find loads and loads of vacancies. Indeed is a good platform to look for these kind of jobs. Some people do volunteering as well, and even though it's not a job in any way, it's a good start to gather some experience. Support worker and healthcare worker jobs give you a good amount of experience in engaging with the clients directly, which is going to be a major part of what you're going to have to do as a clinical psychologist. As I said earlier, that you need a doctorate in clinical psychology, that's a minimum degree in order to become a licensed clinical psychologist in the UK. So when you apply to these programs in the UK, majority of the universities ask for assistant psychologist experience on your resume. You must be wondering, what the hell is assistant psychologist? So the thing is, support worker and healthcare worker jobs are entry-level jobs, and they are indeed a good start. Everybody starts with these kind of jobs. But assistant psychologist jobs are more specialized ones, where you work directly under a licensed clinical psychologist and you learn so much about seeing patients in real time, assisting clinical psychologists in psychological therapy such as CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, assisting them in psychological tests, psychometric tests, and so much more. However, assistant psychologist jobs can be very competitive. I have heard people say that they had to apply as many as 250 jobs just to get an offer from one place. So you get an idea how competitive these jobs can be. For those who are interested in research, then RA, that is research assistantship, and TA, that is teaching assistantship, are the jobs that you can do straight out of universities, as these jobs will give you a good amount of experience in research and teaching. But these jobs can be really competitive. Honestly, I have not come across many TA jobs in the UK, but RA jobs are very common. But again, they can be very competitive. You have to be really persistent and hardworking when it comes to applying to these jobs. RA jobs are very relevant for people who want to do research and eventually pursue PhD. You can find these jobs not just on the job portal of your university, but other universities as well in the UK. Jobs.ac.uk is a good platform to look for RA jobs because a lot of RA jobs are advertised on it. Okay guys, I really hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that now you have a better idea about how to become a clinical psychologist or a researcher in the UK, as in what kind of qualifications you need and what sort of entry-level jobs you should look for in order to gather relevant experience. If you have any questions regarding this topic, then let me know in the comment section down below. I will definitely write you back, I promise you that. And if you have any topic in mind that you would like me to make a video on, then let me know in the comment section down below as well. That is all for today. Take care and stay happy.